All right, and we're back. Today we have a few special guests. We have Guy and Anna's back with us today. And Guy, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Guy. Very nice to meet you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
The usual.
You haven't talked yet. That's why I was like, where the hell are you?
I'm here. Anna's here.
Whoop, whoop.
You've heard it before. And Guy's here. So what's up, guys?
How's the day been?
I want to know the crazy story that happened today.
We will talk about that
right in the beginning.
You want to start? You want to start?
We will talk about
I've
that.
had a good day as well. It's been solid. Went to the gym. Got a letter of recommendation. So I'm very happy.
Woot, woot. So Guy's applying to med school, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Really proud of him. Especially since he's trying to, he told me last week that he's applying to the University of Washington. So go Dubs, go Dubs.
How does Ruby feel about that?
Ruby on the way over here told me she doesn't want to move with me. Actually.
To Seattle.
I did.
Oh.
You do or you don't?
I told him I don't want to move.
She does not want to move to
I don't want to
Seattle.
move anywhere out of LA.
She likes all of you too much. She decided she's staying here.
Oh,
But you know what? I love Seattle, so I'll go with you over there.
Sounds good.
Oh, damn.
yeah, you
Ruby's
talk to
getting
me
replaced.
Real quick.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a good way to segue into like kind of a discussion topic, friendships, and kind of how are you able to maintain them, and how can you become a better friend? We're all friends here. We've all gotten to know each other pretty well, by I guess like kind of some kind of association, right? Four of us are in the same grad school, so we all had a class together. Did we have? A class
We
together?
had the first class. Well, the first class, Josh and I. And then the second class, it was Josh, myself, Anna, and Rubik's Cube.
But I was isolated.
Yeah, she was isolated.
He wasn't our friend.
She wasn't. She wasn't.
Yeah.
She wasn't in the back of the class when Blake and I would watch football, and Fidel would try and increase his typing score.
We'll talk to you for that. So it wasn't me. I think it was Erica.
I started talking to Josh, obviously.
Yeah.
And then from Josh, because I started bugging him, we had the same class the next day, which was the other class, Bacon.
Right,
That's when we all met.
Right.
And then I didn't start talking to you. I didn't sit next to you. I sat next to Erica, just coincidentally.
Right.
Because it was Josh, me, Blake, and then Adina. And then it was
I was
Ali,
at the front.
and it was you,
At the corner front.
the corner front. So Erica started talking to us.
Right.
And then you just tagged along.
Right.
This was this was in 602.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, that
No,
wasn't
no,
602. Whatever theories was. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you cement the friendship, or did it just kind of happen?
Alcohol,
and we went to Sugarfish.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did go to
For
Sugarfish.
sushi.
and a date.
Yeah.
That's how they met.
Yeah.
No, I'm not in this, but I'm interested to know how I became friends.
Well, the first time I met Ruby, actually, like really got to know Ruby, was actually at Fidel's birthday last year.
Yeah. Through Fidel.
Yeah,
That's how I
through
met you.
Fidel.
Yeah, you were
Like,
super
very
friendly,
much, yeah.
and Felipe wasn't there, and I was like, I met this girl.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
And no, yeah, because she was basically the only dude in like our little like cohort.
I was like, she's so sweet. You have to meet her. And she has a boyfriend, so we can hang out together.
Yeah, I think I met all of you guys at Fidel's birthday as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's where I met you, too.
That was a good day.
Yeah, that was a fun night, and we're almost at that point again in the year.
Oh, yeah, it's been a
It's
year.
almost your
Coming up.
birthday
It's coming up.
Oh, next month.
next month.
That's
so,
tomorrow.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Well, we
Holy
still have
crap.
my birthday's the end of the...
Yes, pay your rent. Well, it's gonna be too late, so hopefully you all paid your rent. Paid your March rent. But yeah. But in terms of friendships, like we've all become friends, but I know a few of us went to college outside of LA, so how have you been able to maintain the friendships that you've had in college? What have you guys been able to do?
I think for me, it's funny that you just bring it up because recently I've been remembering more of my friends from New York, and I texted a bunch of friends that I haven't talked to for years because I had a dream about them, and I just texted them yesterday, and I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I kind of miss you. Hope you're doing great. Blah blah blah. It's been 4 years. I definitely forgot how long it was, and then me just coming out of nowhere, I haven't called them or text them. And I do have my best friends from New York. I still talk to them from once in a while. One of them is just like me. I suck at texting. You all know this.
Yes,
you
you
do.
do.
I
So
don't
do I.
reply
I think I'm the
ever.
worst out of all of us.
I
probably.
hate it. I'm so sorry. I'm just and I get anxious. I don't reply, and I get more anxious. It's horrible. So I sent a text to my best friend. I was like, I know you, you know me. This is a text with no pressure, no need to answer, no anxiety whatsoever. Just telling you that I love you. Like 2 days after, she's like, thank you. I really needed that. I was like, it's okay.
I'm glad that you followed up with I really needed that because I thought she just went thank you, period. I mean, I was like, oh shit, never mind.
We love each other. She's one of my bridesmaids.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Like, we're friends. But it's just like, I suck at texting, I don't answer calls. I hate voice notes. I'm just a bad person at communicating.
But that's a good thing about being an adult and like knowing.
Do you want to be on the mic
everyone's-
if you're going to chime in?
That's
Come in.
Just
Come in,
like
come
the
in.
real lives. No,
for
so
my friends that I've had from the Bay Area since I moved to LA. I don't know what it is, if it's like a male female thing, but I feel like I don't need to talk to them much. It's more one of those things
Same.
where if I'm in the area, you can kind of go back like no time has passed.
And then it just
Exactly.
hits.
They're just like
Yeah.
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Same.
the same thing.
Yeah, same with me too. Because like when my friends just came, all my college roommates just came here like a month ago. And, like I haven't talked to them in a while. And we're
Yeah.
okay. And we've just been able to just pick up right back where we left off. So yeah. How are you?
Well, dude, it's funny because Guy said what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say anything. Or maybe it is a male-female type of thing because my closest friends, we really don't text a lot.
Yeah, you don't need to talk much.
Yeah,
at all,
you don't
right?
text much. Or you don't even talk much. Exactly. It's one of those like, hey, well, let's chill next week, or something's coming up, and you just hang out, and it literally just picks up like you've been hanging out all this time, and no time has passed. With was it January 18th? I went to go see Connor
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Vegas fight. I went with my son's godfather. We haven't seen each other in maybe 2 months, 3 months. And it was like nothing had passed by. It was just I picked him up and time just kicked in, and we had a great 4-hour conversation all the way to Vegas.
Same.
We had a hell of a time, and that's what he told me. He's like, dude, it's like that's how you know you're a great friend, where you don't have to text every day, you don't have to see each other every week.
Agreed.
But when you see each other, it's like it's back on mode. Like all the gears are oiled up, everything's smoothly.
That's why I wanted you guys to come to my birthday. Like Anna and Felipe got to meet all of my
Get
friends
on
from
the
Bay
mic,
Area.
Anna. I mean, Ruby.
What?
Oh, sorry.
I feel like
What?
She just comes back on my
But you guys said you guys met them.
with someone.
You know, like it
Then
was
you
nice
reach
to
a
have
point where
everyone
it doesn't
in one
really
place.
matter what
Yeah.
what happened to the distance between you guys. Once you get back together, it's like you've gone through so much together. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna be friends for life.
Yeah, that's so true.
No, and I definitely like when you mentioned that way, like guy, girls. I don't think it really matters because like with my friends from high school, they're from Ecuador. We talk like once a month. Like it
Really?
happens. Yeah, but like we love each other, and it's like nothing. No time has passed by. I've been outside of Ecuador for 8 years, and they moved on with their lives, and every time I go back, it's like the same thing.
Same thing.
Right.
But it's interesting update.
Right. We don't know. It's a different, I think, dynamics is like they're there every day. So every weekend something happens, and like they know. But if something major, they'll text me like, "Bitch, this happened." I'm like, "Oh my god, great!"
Like, bitch, I got engaged. What?
Right, like me. And same thing. We like text each other things like they're majorly important. But like if I'm there, they're just like we catch up, and it's like nothing happened. And we do the same things we used to do.
Yeah, it's interesting how we've been able to like keep it going because it's like we technically have what 2 more months of school,
Yeah, and then everybody starts working.
and then we start working.
I'm traveling for 35 days.
I think the real challenge is making new friends.
Who's traveling for 35 days?
Okay,
Anna,
yes,
I mean,
I definitely
Ruby?
agree because
I booked a trip.
like I have friends from I guess I know people from college that have moved away as well. Like I moved here to go to grad school though, so I was able to find you all. But I do have
You're
like
welcome.
someone I do know people that like haven't had the same experience as me post grad, I guess, because they haven't been able to,
Yeah,
Connect
once you
with
move
people.
to a new location and you're not like involved in school or some sort of outlet like that, it's much harder to form like long-lasting relationships as opposed to when you are in
But
school.
I was the same way the first year, remember? Like the first year that I started Pepperdine, I would cry to Guy about how like I didn't have friends and nothing was changing. And like it's really hard.
yeah, it's hard.
Happened to me too, and I would cry to Felipe, and I was like, I have no.
It happened to me too. All I had was this kid. I'm
Oh,
just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really
thanks.
glad that I honestly would probably not have any friends, like if you had to talk to me
Because
first.
he knows everybody.
'Cause he's such a social
you walk
butterfly.
into school with
Oh
him
my
and
goodness.
he will say hi to everybody.
It takes him-
Then you fly in the wall. He's like, "What's up, dude? I'm
Yeah,
seeing you in a
right.
week."
It's like, who the hell are you? But like we'd like walk from especially when we used to have class, like we'd meet each other, like even now, like we'd meet up like after your class before my class, and then we'd like go downstairs sometimes, and it would take us 10 minutes to get downstairs because he has to talk to at least 2 more people.
Yeah, it was nice to have Fidel, but also I feel like for you, we met friends, but there's also people that you don't easily connect with, and then it was like different to meet people that you actually have things in common with and were able to feel comfortable.
Yeah, it took a gradual time.
Building your relationships, man.
Right.
Building your relationships.
It's
I
like
started the year with a different friend.
yeah, and that actually takes practice and also discipline, I guess you could say. Where we could have a large circle, but who do you really feel comfortable with? And at this point, I'm very glad with my circle. Well, it's not mine that I own it, but it's like all of us, like everyone here.
Let's be honest, he owns us.
No, like it's like I met Josh through sitting next to him, just started talking to him.
He saw my water bottle.
Yeah, I saw his water bottle, and then it went from Erica just trying to chime in with us, and then we had to filter her out to Erica to Anna, and then Anna just became part of our little organism or whatever we are now.
A little organism.
just
Is that
dividing.
correct? Is that correct?
No, it's wrong.
BioMajor?
It's wrong. It's wrong. I was gonna say environment, but organism came out, and then that's how I was cool with Ali, and then Ruby came along, and then Ruby just came and.
How did I become friends with anyone?
Well, Ali doesn't go out a lot. Ali doesn't hang
Ali's
out
like,
with
I
anyone.
have my own friends.
Yeah, but then that's where Ruby came. And Rod's looking at guy, just eating the loop.
Yo, I made everyone because we're gonna have a little kickback tonight. Everyone's munching on lumpia.
Filipino food.
Background, because Josh has been like bragging about this for weeks, and this is like the third, fourth time that I've been in his house.
I know.
Never had them, so I had them today. I have to
They're
say, delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very addictive. I was on a diet. I had like 10 of them. Did not work today.
I know that there's a pack of 60 there, and I was like,
It's
"Am I
like
gonna
I wanna
need
go.
all 60?" And I'm probably gonna need all 60 tonight.
All right, so this is what happened. This is the story.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
as we were getting these damn lumpias, we were in.
Well, first we went to have lunch.
We went to have lunch. I took Fidel to Seafood City. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a Filipino market. It's similar to like Ranch 99 market. Sorry, in Southern California they say 99 Ranch. Up Bay Area and above they say Ranch 99.
Yeah, it's Ranch 99.
It's Ranch 99. Thank you for all you LA for all you LA mofos out there. It's Ranch 99, not 99 Ranch. I don't care what y'all say.
It's also Hello Ranch 99, in case anyone's wondering.
Or like H Mart or anything like that. It's the Filipino version of that. And so we went there, and then we went to Jollibee, which is like the Filipino KFC. It's like our signature fast food chain in the Philippines, and we got
They
some.
have it at the Great Mall in the Bay Area.
Dude, I would always crave, like every time I went to the Bay Area, that's what I would always crave was Jollibee, because we didn't have one in Seattle. We didn't get one in Seattle until like July, like 2011.
I've never heard of this.
We have it here in LA, but like Jollibee is just it's a
delicious.
Filipino staple.
No, it was really good. I had some, and it was like amazing. Like,
'Cause
that's what I was trying to translate, and I was saying it's soft. I'm like, it's not soft. It's not the word I'm looking for. It's like, you eat like another,
chicken, the fried chicken.
something fried and just like heavy. You feel gross.
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
nauseous, and this one's like, oh, this is really good. Like you can
Yeah,
eat it.
because he
Yeah.
compared it to the KFC, like the Filipino KFC, and I was like, oh, I don't want to feel sluggish, and my stomach's gonna hurt.
Say what you really said.
And then
Say
diarrhea.
what you really said. Your skin is like, yeah, it doesn't give you diarrhea. I'm like, what the fuck?
Diarrhea.
Comes in the eat front.
I've never gotten diarrhea from KFC. Is that a
Neither have I, but I've definitely felt like crap.
Yeah,
Like,
of
just
course.
The
What
oil.
Fidel does?
I do, because when I eat like the 2-piece, you have to like
No,
cancel
no.
your events after, dude, because my stomach starts hurting.
Cancel
Cancel
He's
everything.
cancel plans. He only gets it at 11 p.m. at night, because
I'm at home in
that's
the
why.
front.
That's when he'll know he doesn't need to do anything.
No, I've never had KFC here in the U.S. and Felipe has never had it. So we
Good.
drove past one and we're like, oh, let's try it. We didn't know how to order. We didn't know the menu. We ended up ordering like a whole bucket with like, I don't know. It was too much. It lasted for like a week, and I was like, you have to throw that away.
That's
What was your
nasty.
thoughts? What was your thoughts?
It was good.
He likes very greasy food. 'Cause
Yeah.
He doesn't gain weight. He needs to eat 5 times a day, very greasy food to maintain. So we
Oh,
all hate him.
How
Thank you.
lucky.
Wait, if you want real Southern food, Arthur's in Inglewood. That
Ooh,
place is really good.
Arthur's.
we gotta try that
I think
out.
I've heard of
Arthur's.
that. I've heard of that.
There's
I've
this
seen.
picture of a really old guy from somewhere in the south. I'm not sure. But
Somewhere in the
We went to the
Somewhere
south.
I know. There's a good M&M's. M&M that South place. I heard it's pretty good in Inglewood. It's right in front of the Forum.
I haven't been there, but I'd be down to try it.
I'm down to. We should all go do that
We
after.
were in New Orleans,
Not after, but
and the biscuits there were actually insane.
when I was
Yeah,
in
you guys
Harlem,
went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Wait, the story. We
Oh,
left
Oh
it.
shoot.
okay, dude,
That's how our conversations go.
This
This is
is-
why this podcast gets so great, because we get lost in it. And story.
we went
So-
to the. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
We went to Seafood City, and basically, I was looking
Okay,
for
I just want
lumpia.
to, sorry to apologize. We'll go back to the story about New Orleans. Just
Yes,
wanna-
yeah,
I'll go back to it. We went to Seafood City, and basically we were in the lumpia aisle, and this very very classic Filipino what we call our
Stereotype.
tito, like
How would
Filipino
you describe
uncle, just
Super.
very like he's the uncle that would have bought you alcohol when you were young. You know what I'm saying? Like
Love
underage,
this.
and then put a Filipino right next to put a Filipino in front of that label. Oh shit. But yeah, do you want to?
Dude, it's because we went and got the chicken first, and I was very excited because I never had he was excited to share his culture, and I'm more than happy to be part of that. So we went to Jollibee, we got the thing, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. I was like, I can't wait to try it. And then I said something. I was trying to learn Filipino. I think like a bad
Tagalog.
word, Tagalog, and then I said like a bad word. He's like, dude, there's kids behind us, and I was like, oh, I thought it was just like small Filipino people. And then he's like, you're just used to me being 6 foot. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. It's just like the stereotypes. But then we got the chicken, the bucket, and then we walked to the market to get lumpia. But then he was told me, hey, this is like the 99 ranch for like that we usually see. He's like, yeah, it's almost like that. So cool. We went in, we were looking for the lumpia, and then he gets it, and we're debating like the 60 the pack. Or,
No, one was more expensive. Than the
one
other.
was
They
more
were both
expensive.
60 packs.
There were 60 packs. Just one was like $3 more.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, what's the difference? And then out of nowhere, this like Filipino uncle.
We were next to each other, and this Filipino man just comes up and just basically separates us.
Yeah.
He grabs the wine that's on top of the freezer, and then he just goes, "This wine is really good.
Really good.
It makes you all you need. This is good for your heart. This is good for your everything." And then I was like, "Oh, really?
No, he's
really?
like, it's-
talaga po, talaga, like really? Ano bang ginagawa niyan? Like what does it do to you?"
Oh, he's like, oh, it's made in the Philippines and it's cheap. He's like, it's
It's
good for
only
your,
$6.99.
yeah, and he's like, it's good for your heart and it's good for your titi. And then I was like, what? And he's like, bah! He
TT
just-
means
oh, like,
TT
it
means
means dick.
Finger out like
TT
that.
Like
means TT means penis.
penis. And then he just told both of us, good for your titi. He goes, bah! And he's like, hard. And you go, and he's like, and then you go to your wife after you take drinks. He's like, then you get her what's it called? The pepe? Peck. You go to her peck and you put your ting ting. He's like, you know,
Like fun. You should
no. He's all like, you know what it is, right?
Guys.
It's panocha and dick. You go, like this, but I'm taking 2 bottles. And he gets 2 bottles, and then he puts them, and then he drags his little shopping cart and kind of like barricades
He
us
barricades me
to the. We were stuck to the cooler.
to the cooler, and then he was stuck to a pillar.
I was stuck to the pillar. Like I couldn't move back because the pillar was here, and then the cooler was in front of us. We couldn't move forward, and then we couldn't move to the right because his shopping cart was there, and he was blocking us to the left of his shopping cart.
Are you sure it wasn't his pink pink?
No, dude, the trip out it gets crazier. So he just starts talking to him about the Philippines and learning the language and stuff like that. And
Not even.
where did it go to?
He talked about like his. Oh my god, he was very classic Filipino, right? Like, you know, if you have like immigrant parents and stuff like that, like you want to show how proud you are as a parent. So he was like, my son, like my only son. He's now the Department of Pediatrics at UCLA. He's a medicine. I put him through UCLA undergrad BS biochemistry, and then blah blah blah. And he was like,
So
It was
we're
now
you
it's the-
ended up here.
how was and then he was like now the Department of Pediatrics, and you know how I got there? By building my own business. I started off in Safeway in Westlake Village.
Oh yeah.
Blah 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 blah. And I was like, what?
Do you know what Safeway is?
That's an inspiring story.
I was like, wait, Safeway, Vons, like what? Like Vons? Because we only have Safeway from like Bay Area and up.
In
Like,
Arizona, they have Safeway.
yeah, but okay, yeah. So what do you see?
Oh, so he started talking about that, and then I don't know how I jumped because I thought he was like delusional. Maybe he was just like that weird uncle guy that
No,
just.
he was just being a fucking Filipino.
So he was just talking. I was like, okay, I'm being polite. Josh is being polite, I just thought, oh, maybe he's drunk. But no, he had like his story about his
kids,
his life. He started talking, and it's funny because I thought about my son goes a pediatric, and I was like, oh, just like Guy. And I was thinking in my head, I was
like, wow, we currently have a friend right now that's applying to med school.
Yeah, so that happened, and then he starts jumping to having your own business, your own money, becoming rich.
To the ping.
And, no,
how he got to the ping.
No, then he starts jumping to that, and then he says how he used to be. I don't know how this came up, but he used to be in the army supposedly, right?
Or yeah, he used to like fight.
He used to fight, and he's like, I used to be a sniper.
I'm getting pretty suspicious of this.
No, trip out. He's like, I used to be a sniper. He goes, blah, blah, blah. And this is me everywhere.
This fool pulls out a Swiss army knife in the middle of a fucking market, and I was like, I know you're a little bit older than me, but still, like,
dude,
I'm literally like 3 feet away from me. He could literally just there. So I was like, shit, I'm about to die in a fucking seafood city, and I know all my titos and titas over here are gonna like fucking like pull out a feast for my funeral and everything like that. But damn, I was scared. I was like, I'm a little uneasy right now.
No, because look, he took it out. And he's like, I used to be a sniper, and then he's like, I used to do this.
So he's waving it around.
He started slicing. Yeah, and trip out, dude. I grew up in the hood, so I got defensive real quick. But when I tried to move back, the fucking pillar was behind me.
He had nowhere to go.
I had nowhere to go.
Brother had nowhere to go. Like
this, and then, dude, I literally told myself this: fuck, if I get stabbed and die in a Filipino market, none of my friends from the hood are gonna go to that shit. They're like, he deserved to die there. He got stabbed by a 70-year-old Filipino. He deserved it. So I was just thinking in my head, like, fuck.
I have a son. Nothing about that.
Nothing.
Nobody will come to my funeral.
Not even my own son.
Just shame.
Why'd you end up in a seafood city? They're the most expensive of the markets.
Yeah. They're gonna tell my son, what happened to your dad? He just ran away. He never came back. He was so shit. I got killed in a Filipino seafood market. And the worst part is, they're gonna investigate. They're gonna say these two fat asses went to Jollibee, bought a 10-piece, went to the seafood market.
90 pieces of
We're having 60 pieces of lumpia right now. All the while this fool is fucking carrying a 10-piece bucket of Jollibee, and the only thing that he was thinking the entire time was the heat's escaping from the chicken joint, and I was like, that's the least of my fucking worries right now.
I was literally because we were standing there for 20 minutes. I could feel the heat escaping the bag, and it was heating up my hand. While he was talking, I was like, bro, this chicken's gonna get soggy.
So we're sorry.
My hand over the
yeah, of course. Like that works, right?
So yeah, it was just, and then he started talking about the business that he's been able to build as a multi-million-dollar business. And I guess like there's like Filipinos out there that start either going into real estate, or this guy or this person, this man, he goes into water.
Yeah.
Bottled water or something like that. He gave me his entire flyer. It's in my car. But it was so interesting because he was like, you want to go to Japan? Like, I'll get you vendors from Japan, vendors from, I was like, can you get me vendors
water
from
bottles.
Fucking Fiji? Because that's my favorite water. It's Fiji. So like, bring me there. But yeah, it was so interesting. He was like, this water is the only reason why I was able to is the only reason why my son is now the director of pediatrics at UCLA.
Oh no, he said if you want a letter of recommendation.
Yeah, and he automatically assumed in Filipino fashion and Filipino stereotypes that I myself was a pre-med.
As you were.
As I was. He was. As I was in undergrad, but and that he was like, if you need a letter of recommendation, come to me. I know people. And I was,
he did say that.
The story's so crazy. I don't think sense.
You have mango sorbet.
I just didn't know.
Dude, I'm telling you, weird things happen to me and then to Josh. It's just, this is another thing why we were 30 minutes late, because that conversation.
That conversation, we were in Seafood City longer than we were in Jollibee.
Yeah.
Like that's how long this guy was. He told us his entire life story, and I was just trying to find it. I was ready to cut him off. I was like, oh, thank you, Paul. Like, thank you, salamat.
Josh was very nice.
Fucking pulled out that knife, and I was like, "Oh shit, never mind. Okay, he's holding me hostage." I was like, "Oh fuck, let him talk." And I could see Fidel, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's probably just like these fucking Asians. What are they talking about?"
Dude, I was standing like this. I couldn't move back. My wall was in the pillar.
Yeah, so
He
Fidel,
starts
yeah.
waving this fucking knife.
Swiss
Knock
Army.
out this grandpa.
Dude, I thought about
You
it.
weren't worried about the ping about the knife.
I was worried about the knife.
Yeah,
Well, who knows?
But at the same time, the ping too was a little
What
weird.
happens if he stabs me and then takes out the ping? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna be bleeding down. He's gonna be like, "Oh, perfect level." Starts thrusting me. What do you want me to do?
Oh,
I'm already
we're so
bleeding.
red right here now.
So it's like two things. Oh, my dad got stabbed.
Needs a video.
What happened to Fidel? He got stabbed and then got raped and then he died. So that's the story of
And
my
we mean
life.
that in the most jokingest way possible.
Of course.
And we don't
Anando is
Don't
gone.
endorse it.
we don't endorse any sexual assault or anything like that.
For sure.
Oh, of course, just a story.
Just a story, but this
Oh.
guy made it feel like he was already a victim. So
I was a victim. He was just swinging the
the damn knife, that was just. He didn't even ask us, like, he didn't even give us, like, any recommendation on what fucking movie to get. He was just like, just make sure you get the wine. And guess what we forgot to get? The fucking wine.
Get the wine.
We went to Ralph's instead.
No, and he even talked about that he gets that wine. He goes to the Philippines.
Yeah, he would, like, get, like, other wines, too, that are apparently really good for you and stuff like that. He was
So he could
but this is my favorite because it's Philippines. And I was like,
No, there's a better one, but it's from the Spanish. Don't buy that one.
yeah.
He told us the name, and I was like, oh.
I was like, oh my god. I was afraid I was about to fucking pull some shit right now.
No, I didn't say anything. I was respectful to the elder.
To the Spanish.
No,
to
he
the
was-
Spanish.
He was like, he's that dude that was just, he was in it to win it when he was in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was the president of his fraternity kind of dude.
for sure.
Like, lot to stereotype even more, but like he definitely had that mentality of like I don't give a fuck about anyone, and I'll do whatever it takes to get what I need, and not just what I want, what I need, right?
It's a great mentality.
It's a great mentality.
It's like,
But he also like started
nothing
to
will
me.
stop me.
He started talking to me in English, and then at the end, and here's the thing, I started talking to him in Tagalog just a little
Since the
bit,
beginning.
and I was just like, okay, well, like, you know, blah blah blah. I would like speak in Tagalog, and he would just continue talking in English, and I was like, bitch, I know you speak Tagalog. Let's just speak in Tagalog. It'll probably make it a little bit easier for you and
I
I.
think you want to
Are you just
practice.
Filipino?
He wanted to practice English, and his English was really good. But then he was so
Filipino.
surprised at the end
Josh.
of the entire conversation. Yeah.
Are you just Filipino, or are you Filipino and Hawaiian, or anything?
No, I'm pure 100% Filipino, and he goes.
Pure 100%.
It's like me when I say side note. It's like me when I say it's like at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Our best friend was Steph's Filipino.
Oh yeah.
You met
Pure
her.
Yeah, I met her.
100%?
Yeah.
We only
Pure
accept
100%. No, yeah,
the
so
only way Josh can get with another Filipino girl. It's
Ooh,
pure 100%.
she said
Pure 100%.
She just
What we call puro.
Okay, she's out.
Nationality.
She's
No.
Hawaiian too, though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No
Oh.
pure 100%.
She's going to
Bye.
the Philippines.
No, I'm just kidding.
Josh was like,
Open to the conversation. But he at the end I started saying like salamat po, which means thank you, and the most kindest polite elder, you know, when you speak to an elder. And he just goes, oh, alam mo pala mag Tagalog, which means like I didn't know you know how to speak Tagalog, and I was like, yes, bitch, I've been trying to speak to you this entire time. Yeah, and then he just spoke to me the rest of the other conversation, and he tried to basically ask me about like my family and like where my parents like, grew up and stuff like that, and then
Where is that?
Do they need water?
I feel like he was basically just gonna be like, oh, let me know if they need water. My mom is from this province called Pangasinan, and I don't really know physically where it is, but then my dad's from Oriental Mindoro, and he grew up there. And Mindoro is an island, so it's a very beautiful island.
Okay.
It's a very
I
good
wanna go
resort.
there.
So yes, we will plan a trip.
actually, it's funny you mentioned that. Josh and I were talking about 3 places we need to travel to, well, together. But all of us, we could do that. One of them
Why
is
are
the
you always
Philippines.
making plans for that?
I knew she was gonna hit that. I was waiting for it too.
No, the Philippines
Just
look
leaving us
beautiful.
out.
It's
Little
like white
bitch.
sand beaches everywhere. The water's so clear that you can see like under.
Yes. Yeah. And like it's just very beautiful there. So we definitely need to
Ruby,
go.
you've literally talked more than Guy. And Guy
The guy has a mic in his hand.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's what happened to Seafood City. So we apologize for being a few minutes late because we were getting. I was gonna die apparently, but no, it was good. It's always like we were just like we were in the car and we were just kind of contemplating. We were like, what the hell just happened to us? Then what happened to you and I? Like,
I don't know what happened.
Do we
90
file a report? Or?
80% of the time he ignored me because he was talking to these like he made it obvious. He said it. I like you. Like
Yeah,
I
you're
like
part
you.
of the Spanish.
That's true too.
y'all controlled us.
That's true too. Damn, Josh, I didn't do anything to you.
Okay,
we
I
all
wanna
have a
know
little bit of
why-
Spanishness.
Oh, what?
What?
We all have a little bit of Spanishness. Everyone. Well,
Because we rule.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
We do.
But,
I'll see.
but you came out with something today. What was it you
wait, I
said?
want to tell you guys about New Orleans because that's.
Oh yeah, please tell us.
Oh
please.
yeah. Tell us about New Orleans.
First thing I should say is New Orleans is fucking raunchy.
It's
Like,
wild.
Really?
Raunchy. People get wild there.
I saw a Snapchat of people taking off their clothes and twerking.
Oh
A
damn.
lot.
I was one of those.
One of the I know you were. Get out of here. One of the best bars had this like stage where there was someone hosting and
Uh-huh.
people in the crowd would give money for competitions, whether it was like twerking or there was a bachelorette party and the bride would get on the stage. And that was actually one of the funniest ones. The bachelorette got on the stage and she was a bigger woman, I would say. Definitely a bigger
Oh,
woman.
she was a bigger woman.
Anyways,
How big?
Like
200
300
plus.
pounds.
She was probably 250.
Not 3.
Okay, maybe 300.
Like
Damn.
a picture of
Six
herself.
No, it's like I'm not giving her
That's-
any
that's huge.
remorse.
Anyways, they get 5 guys on stage. The first guy is this like 45-year-old awkward guy named like Brian Dawkins, like super white guy. I don't know.
Brian Dawkins?
Dawkins.
I don't know why. It's like
The
the whitest name.
the free safety from the Eagles? Brian Dawkins?
Oh, I didn't even know that was a person. Anyways, gets on there, does this like little awkward dance, and then like 3 other people go, and finally there's this guy who's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick her up. I'm gonna pick her up."
And they
Gets on
said
the stage.
specifically, like, don't try to pick.
Yeah, the host was like, "If you can't pick her up, do not try. Don't try to pick her up." So this guy comes up and he tries to pick her up, and he immediately falls back.
So then she gets on top and starts humping him.
Yeah, and then she gets on top of him and she starts like riding him, and her bridesmaids come out of the crowd and she runs and she pulls her off of him because they're recording this whole thing. I'm assuming for
To
her
show
like
her
bachelorette
assets.
party video.
That would have been fun.
Oh my god, I wish I was there.
And
We
then
should all go.
the host, he's like, "Oh, your husband just saw you do that. Like, tell the camera what you're gonna do to him when you get home." She grabs the mic, she grabs her camera. She's like, "I'm gonna suck your dick until you pass out."
Oh! That's a good woman right there. Shit.
wow.
Oh my
Till
god,
she
it's
pass-
ridiculous.
till he passes out. God damn, she
What
has like
the
a vein out or something.
And then I
Jeez.
twerked with a grandma.
Yes.
You twerked with a grandma?
Also, Ruby twerked with a grandma. It got
Fine.
pretty wild. There was twerking competitions. Girls like pulled out their butts and titties for $300 or whatever the crowd was giving.
I was,
That
I
seems-
was watching a
that seems
video of a
reasonable.
stripper making $3,000 in a week. I was like, what the hell?
It doesn't surprise me. I feel like in Vegas they probably make that.
That's more.
Oh yeah, Vegas.
They make that in a night.
Right, but
I
it was
I
like,
can speak from
I think
experience.
like Monday she made 800.
Same.
Like Tuesday she made like 40. Wednesday she
40.
made like 800. Like that. She just keep making money. I was like, just like,
like, what
Are
am I
you
doing?
are you contemplating
I don't have
something?
the body, Josh. I haven't been weighed in a year and I had to do all this tests and I got weighed. I'm like in the overweight category. I was like, okay, I need to.
She's lying. She's lying.
I am
His
not.
face.
She's
I
Beyonce
haven't been
is
weighed
Felipe's
in
face.
so long.
Felipe has this like smirk of like, He's like, okay.
That's a lot of money, actually.
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of dollars.
If you know, therapy doesn't work.
The countdown to maybe
Therapy
games.
doesn't work.
Talk about the food. Talk about the food.
Oh yeah, the food was very, very delicious yet unhealthy. Everything was fried. Everything had cheese. The seafood was amazing. There's this place if you go to New Orleans called Cafe du Mont, and if you go there, you have to go. They have these deep fried
Beignets.
pastries of sorts.
Oh,
I'm not
damn.
sure exactly. What
Oh.
Actually, New Orleans is one of the places I need to visit.
Where
Like,
you
I wanted
gonna-
to
where
do-
you gonna
you should
go?
go.
Yeah, I was gonna go in June, but then my sister wanted to go to Baja California, so we went there. But now I'm trying to go this year, but I usually do it by myself or my son, but I actually want to do it with my friends, because
But that's a place not to go with your son. You should go with friends.
Yeah, definitely don't go.
Right.
with
And you should play
Mind
with
them, don't
us
listen to this
instead of
podcast.
just him and Josh.
Have
oh,
the right
when do you
nice
guys want to
package.
do
What?
it? Then let's do it for sure. Let's
Let's do it after graduation.
okay.
Because we have like a little bit of time off.
But we should keep
Oh, I
in mind
don't.
during the summer there it's gonna be really hot. It's
Oh, yeah.
gonna be- it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Humid.
humid.
When did we go?
And it's like-
Even better.
You like
Last week, like 2 weeks ago.
I don't remember.
Humid.
When did we go?
Oh yeah, we went
It was a good time.
February 18th-ish, in mid-February, and it was
Pretty early, right?
cold
So,
at
like
night.
2 weeks
but during
ago?
the day it was fine.
Because did you spend your actual birthday there, right?
No, I spent like Valentine's Day the weekend before there.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
President's Day weekend, essentially.
And that's the very
Yeah.
beginning of Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras
So
goes
Mardi
from
Gras-
that day.
Until
Until-
the 25th is the actual Mardi Gras day. And
Yeah.
then they have the full parade. So if you go a little bit before, it's less crowded.
But then if you actually go for Mardi Gras, like the actual Tuesday.
Oh, you're not going to be able to walk or move.
Damn.
It gets really packed, and the beads are getting thrown.
You get slammed in the face with
Yeah,
beads. We had so
yeah.
many.
Really?
There's people like throwing up on the street. Like even now,
I held a
there's
snake. A huge snake.
Oh, I remember seeing that. I was like,
Oh, I thought that was Guy's nickname for his thing.
His thing, wet thing.
No, I
His
held a
whistle
snake.
is
I was
bent
very
then?
proud.
No, it's titi.
His titi.
You're putting penis and vagina together.
we stayed in the ghetto too.
Yeah.
We didn't stay actually in the French Quarter, which is like the traditional place to go in Noah. We stayed in like the 7th South Ward, and it was kind of funny because every day we got on a lift, and they would kind of indicate how ghetto it was more and more. The first day we got off, she was like, "Don't walk around at night here. It's a little dangerous. You shouldn't be walking around by yourself ever." Second day, she was like, "Oh, I didn't stop in front of your place because I saw those guys standing outside and they robbed cars and like
Cheapers.
I don't want to do that." And the third day, we get in the car, and the Uber gets in, and he's just like, "So what's it like living in the ghetto?"
Oh, so this guy just went full on like,
Yeah.
how's it been?
Yeah, it was very interesting to say the least.
Have
We
you
had to.
encountered any, Filipino guy trying to stop you with a little swift
Fucking
knife?
swipe,
Actually, we
swipe,
did.
swipe.
Remember the hat that he was trying to give us? And he gave it to me, and then he was like, "Oh, so why do you look so serious? Like you're walking here with a lady and whatever."
Oh yeah, I don't know if he was trying to stab us, but he was trying to
He's trying to get something out of you.
he was trying to get money. He like put a hat on Ruby's head, and then he was like, "Why do you look so serious? You're committing a crime." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Being angry with a beautiful lady by your side." It was something like that.
And then I tried to keep walking, and he was like, "No, you have to pay me for that hat." And I was like, "I don't want it."
So he was asking you to pay for the hat. It's like when
on me.
it's like when you go to Venice and then like some dudes just give you like their mixtape and then you're just like you're just like $10 and now you'd be like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's it back. No thanks.
There's also some guy who struggles with housing who came up and put some cream on Ruby's shoes and was like chasing after her, trying to like wipe it off to get some money. It was a mess.
Ruby was trying to get a shoe shine even though she was wearing like open toe shoes.
I didn't want it. I said no, and he still like ran after me. And then his boss was like standing off to the side. And he's like, "I'm so sorry. Just let me clean it off."
Sounds very, very self-aware.
They went crazy.
There was some more stuff too. There was a woman who had her tits out who was doing like nipple
Piercings.
glitter.
Oh,
Nipple
nipple
glitter.
glitter. And I let her draw on my face. I did face painting. I didn't let her do my nipples, but I let her do my face.
Yeah, let her do her face. But while we were getting that done, another woman came up to her and was like, she immediately just went through her bag to make sure she wasn't taking any of the money. It was kind of suspicious. Like she was doing the work, but she wasn't getting like
She wasn't getting paid.
anything out of it. It was a little weird.
Interesting. That's so what?
It was almost like she was like a prostitute with a pimp or something.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
well,
That's
she had her allies with her. I don't know, but then you came back to LA.
Back to our boring lives.
Yeah, back to
sorry.
reality. Back to reality. And then we are here now. How the hell did we end up here?
We called them.
Be that invited everyone.
Yeah,
funny
we were
'cause,
just
like
in
it
this.
usually
We were just in
happens.
this group chat. You guys want to do a game night next week? And then
Josh,
where? My place or it's who else's? And then Fidel goes, Josh's place. I was like, all right.
it's funny because
I'm okay with that.
I'm always okay with that.
I'm always in, like throwing events, and then I'm like, "Hey, Josh, we're doing this. Where? Oh, at your house. I forgot to text you."
Even on this damn podcast, you'd be like, "Oh, by the way, like we're booked this, or like we have this. And then I was like, "Okay, well, I'm not here this weekend. Why the heck didn't you tell me? Blah blah blah. Like what?
Well, yeah, just to let
We'll
you
get-
know,
we'll
I'm
get to our
co-hosting.
You're
eventually.
you're co-hosting that day.
Yeah.
because Josh's not here.
I will not be
Where
here
are you guys
much.
streaming?
You will.
We are currently on SoundCloud and
YouTube.
YouTube.
And I'm in charge of trying to get into podcast.
How do you get on
Podcast? Is it
Apple
Okay,
Podcasts.
we're getting into Apple Podcasts. We just need to make sure.
We need to submit a written, full
Yeah.
detailed description,
I still have to work on
and
that.
it has to be approved and copyright. It has to
Be
go.
a certain theme.
Yeah, it has to fit a
I
specific.
just
thing.
make sure that it's not like copying anyone else's.
Yeah.
Work.
Like I can't
Also,
call it
they're
Fidel's.
just trademark.
Like podcasts, like Joe Rogan steal his idea type of thing. Like they have to read the descriptions, go into it, whatever, and they
You're
say
gonna
you
get
have.
so technical because it's so like vague. Like
It's
these
like very
kinds of
broad
things.
questions, like lawyery questions.
I mean, from someone that listens to podcasts pretty frequently, I feel like you just kind of have to pick your lane. And
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
And
to,
just go with it.
Oh yeah, like ours is pretty simple. Ours is psychology meets comedy, and we just call
Psychology meets comedy in life, honestly.
it.
Like,
Yeah, so we mix it with life experiences.
life experiences.
stories.
We almost got Seb today.
Yeah, so
Life experiences. Guys applying to med school.
I guess this is a good transition. There's so much to talk about in regards to med school, so
How has this application process been for you?
it is stressful and expensive. I just got
Yeah.
informed today by
how expensive is it?
I'm
the
estimating
viewers
it's going
wanna
to be
know.
something like $5,000 to $7,000.
Oh,
by the end of
For
it.
applications only.
What?
That's a semester. That's a
But
semester
you're
for
taking
someone.
into
It's like
consideration
200 to
flying out
300,000
places
for
and like
members.
doing interviews and stuff like that. So he's applying out of state.
So the
So he's
accumulation
flying
of it
in.
is the primary application, the
Secondaries.
interviews, lodging, food.
Yeah, that's
if I
all
need to
coming
buy
out
a
of you.
suit or whatever it may
Yeah, because
be.
it's not like when you apply to like grad school. It's just you submit an application, and they charge you for that. It's like $70, $80. You actually have to.
You have personal expenses. That you
yeah, like to
take.
fly out to wherever you're applying.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And,
that gets pricey.
and there's a lot of people that apply to 30, 40 schools. And with each school, besides the primary, like $150, it's $80 a school. And then say you get an interview at let's say just 15 of those. And in California, there's 12. So let's say you get like 5 or 6 out-of-state interviews. That means you're flying
You have
5 or
to
6
go
times.
5 times.
Yeah.
Figure out where you're gonna stay and stuff like that. So yeah, but how what have you been able to how have you been able to kind of relieve this process
It's
for
leap
yourself?
year day.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
leap
that's
year.
right. That's right.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to all of my leap years out there. You finally I've
You're
I remember I had a friend who turned 12 today. Something like that. I don't know.
Well,
But
girls
how-
can propose to guys today.
So apparently their cutoff is 12 o'clock noon. So if you're born February 29th before noon, they count it as February 28th. And then February 29th past noon, they count it to March 1st.
That sucks.
So yeah, right. It's like you get pushed. You get born a day earlier, or you get born a day later. So it's like, oh, I didn't even live one day in my life, or I lived one day in my life before I even fucking got
A day
here.
in my life. Wow, that's deep.
That's deep, Josh.
Ruby and I have had this argument all the times. When you start counting how long you've been alive, it's like based on when you're born, even though you've been developing in utero
Right.
for
Right,
9
9
months.
months.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's
But that
that's
means
a
if
total
you
political
count
argument.
conception as somebody
But
being a
also,
human being.
Wait.
like, I just turned 24, right? But it's like I'm starting my 25th year of life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me because I'm like.
That's why in other
Should I be
cultures they start
25?
off. That's why in other cultures they start you off the moment you enter the world, you're one.
What culture is this?
Korea, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, I need to
Pretty sure.
fact check myself on that,
All
but
the
I'm pretty
Koreans
sure
are
it's
1 year
Korea.
older than we think.
Yeah,
Like,
essentially.
they're
I'm pretty sure
actually-
I'm pretty sure it's one of it's probably it's either South or North Korea, one of those or both of those, or another. I know it's an Asian country that does their culture makes it that way, so that they start off at 1 instead of 1 month,
They're
2
not
months, 3
1,
months.
they're 9.
They're 9 months. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like,
Oh,
I
fuck.
it's all fucked up.
I was
So
in
guy
boarding-
applied
I
to
was
med
boarding
school.
in my dad's schools for years.
It's been kept. I've been
That's
kept
what
in
your
there. I was
thesis
waiting for
for
the time.
graduation.
The
How
contract.
old we really are.
The biological
Bring it down to
implications
the portion
of
Oh shoot, let's not.
But med school, how have you been able to kind of organize yourself? Like, has anyone been there, like helping you out? What have you been able to do and to kind of help yourself and hopefully be able to help other people and other individuals
Like some.
that are applying to med school?
Yeah, definitely like Anna too.
Oh, did I tell you guys I'm applying to med school?
Oh,
Have you
didn't tell
taken
us.
prereqs?
No, like I'm doing my licensing for the MFT, and then
You're gonna apply to med school.
yeah. So guys helping me out there.
So you're taking.
Yeah, we're gonna
So do
plan
you
a
still
little, coffee.
do you still so you still have to take bio, OChem, all that
Right, I
stuff.
have to I think do prerequisites. So while I'm still doing the licenseship.
What made you actually decide that? 'Cause that's a huge commitment.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
That's 4 years of med school, but not including everything
Yeah,
else
like
after.
if you do. What I was thinking was if you do a doctorate in psychology,
It's the
it's
same
5
thing.
years, and then if you do med school, it's 6 years. Let's say 4 plus 2 years of it's supposed a little bit extra. Do
Residency.
specialty or
Probably
residency.
more than 2 years.
But let's
3
say
to 6.
what I'm saying 6 years. What I'm saying is in total versus
No.
the 5.
Residency is
Residency,
3
3 to 6 years,
Okay.
So,
depending on your specialty.
so
Okay, that
between
is
7
too.
to 10.
Okay, but still, if I do 5 for a doctorate in psychology and then having 2 careers for 6 years, kind of makes sense, and it's the same amount of debt.
Oh,
It's something a lot more.
Med school is like,
No, it is.
150
It's
It's,
the
Hundred-
it's the same
yeah,
amount
it
of debt
depends on-
for a
depends on where you're
doctorate in
about to go to.
psychology and then.
if you're including
because I
if you're
do
including a
want to
side
do a
D.
doctorate,
or
but then it's
PhD.
the same amount of debt that it's just having a whole nother career. And if I go back to South America, being a doctor is
So,
way more leverage than being a therapist.
Are you taking your prereqs here?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because I didn't even know when I'm gonna apply. But let's go back to that.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
unbothered.
I just want to know what
We're
made
still
you
the same
decide
age.
that. But
That's another. When
That's
we have
another-
is another. you
We'll
guys
talk.
can talk about it when you do the co-hosting.
So speaking of mentorship, I was kind of going to talk about this a little earlier too, when we brought up that guy's mentality about being kind of cutthroat and
Oh God, yeah,
choosing to
our little Tito
pursue
today.
yourself and
Yeah.
your goals first.
Right.
I think a big part of medicine is collaboration instead of competition. Shout out podcaster Dr. Ryan Gary. He kind of started that big mentality in pre-medical students in general, where I think a lot of the success in not just medical students or pre-medical students, but professionals in general is about collaborating with other individuals. And if you want to succeed, you have to help others and then ask for help yourself. Because along this journey, I think I've made a lot of mistakes, and it's because I was negligent about asking people who have done things before me what mistakes they made, what things I can do differently, and how that will get me where I want to be.
Pretty good. Pretty
So
good
you've been
advice.
able
Thank you.
to. So how has that helped you in your mentality now? It's like a team effort now to you.
Yeah, so now I'm a part of this forum for pre-medical students called MCAT Bros, and I've done live there's 18,000 pre-medical students in there, and I've done live Instagram videos for how to study for the MCAT, and I've also watched them myself, and if I have questions I can post in there. I also constantly reach out to, I have some physicians that give me advice who have been through the gauntlet themselves, and I've made friends with medical students and residents to give me advice to get me those critical pieces of information and get me shadowing opportunities or research opportunities, anything that may be.
It's amazing. So you said collaboration is a big thing. So what were the 3 advices that you would give to people that are thinking on applying?
So
good question.
in regards to collaboration specifically and wanting to apply, I think making strong connections when you're in class, not only with the students that are around you, but with the professors. One thing that I think about is this experience that I had today. There's this organic chemistry professor that I have, and I asked him for a letter of recommendation when I first had him, but then I kind of neglected it and I didn't collect it. And I've been emailing him for the past month trying to get this letter of recommendation. He was ignoring me. I emailed him 5 different times, right? And then I started emailing the deans of the school to try to figure out when his class schedule is.
So you
They told me
Persistence.
They told me I wasn't allowed to get it. Persistency is definitely a big thing in pre-med too.
Yes,
But,
it really is.
They told me I wasn't allowed to get a schedule because security things. I emailed from a different email saying I wanted to surprise my old OChem teacher with a present.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
He's going there.
That
He's actually
Tell me
going
about that
there.
one.
You're like a
Oh my
creepy
goodness.
ex-girlfriend.
Have you guys seen You?
Yes,
Full-
I
full
freaking
Joe
love You.
Goldberg on it. Couldn't find his Facebook.
Ruby,
Anyways,
You
I
better-
ended up
This is
just
the first time
showing
I've
her-
heard
You
about
better
if
link
you
in
break
or
up with
anything
him, you know what's coming. Emails.
This is the first time I've heard about this.
Oh.
Don't even try, Ruby.
like
I ended up just showing up in his classroom, at the same time that he used to teach lectures, and he told me he would write it. Apparently, he went to Africa recently, and he got malaria.
Oh, well, that's that took a
damn.
turn for you, but
And now you have all these emails.
yeah, now you
You're
sent
that
all these
creep
emails. But you've been
But I admire
you
that.
did it, so you weren't able to maintain a better. You would have been able, or you would have wanted to maintain a better relationship.
Yeah, so looking back on it in terms of collaboration, that would have been more persistent, or at least acknowledged more of the relationship as time passed beyond the actual classroom time.
So maintain your relationship with people that you want letters.
Literally use the mic.
Yeah, maintain relationships that you want from people.
So connections.
Connections,
Me
not
too.
in a
Number two.
stalking-ish way.
And then
Build up
please
that
don't
professional
Don't have
relationship.
another account.
It's, I mean, like, you know,
other aspects of collaboration in terms of learning, especially for the MCAT, is forming strong study groups. Because I can't explain it enough. You learn better from teaching individuals and then also
trading,
hearing other people teach other people.
mm-hmm.
Because it's one thing to say it to yourself; it's another thing to try to teach it to someone else.
And
notice the gaps that you have in what you're thinking about.
Get stuff
Yeah, and it's still one thing to like memorize like the hydroboration mechanism in organic chem, but being able to like talk it out and actually go through the actual processes of it, and you're gonna have to. This is
I'm
my.
not chem. I was in high school in South America. They make you take like I guess like college classes.
Oh, okay.
So it was pre-med in high school.
Oh, okay.
Kind of goes.
Yeah, no, they
Okay.
it's like yeah. No, I definitely get that. There's a difference between collaboration and there's a difference between collaborating with yourself, essentially.
And I guess the last piece of collaboration that I would discuss about is networking constantly, because that will get you opportunities that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And what comes to mind for me for this is I was shadowing at this PEDS HEMONC center. I was at a teaching hospital, and I started helping this medical student from UCLA, to get accustomed with our electronic health record system. And just because I was nice to her and I helped her, I started working with her on the research, and just because of that, I ended up being in presentations and getting to go to New Orleans for free for a conference and presenting research. And so being friendly with people who are in positions that you want to be in is really important, because they will provide you the opportunities to get there.
Yeah, that's such a thing too. One of our professors right now keeps talking about that, how he's been able to, our professor, how he's been able to kind of
Which one? I'm sorry.
India.
Oh.
How he's been able to kind of be able to build those relationships with the people that he's already taught, because he knows how they work.
India.
He knows how they're able to work, and he knows how they're able to. Yeah.
Do you see his little twirl in the middle of class when he's writing?
Yeah, he does that. I'm just oh my gosh, he has a lot of energy. But I'm just saying,
so much energy.
So much energy, and it's
7 to 10.
He gets
and I'm just
so
like,
excited.
and I'm just bro, it's 9:55. You have 5 minutes, and then he goes,
And then he keeps going after class.
keeps
Those are
going.
the best teachers, though.
I know, but at 10 p.m., dude, I just But I really appreciate the way he's been able to cultivate relationships with his students and be able to turn them into associates, and into whatever, to a colleague essentially. And that's important with the networking aspect, especially when you're trying to achieve goals that a lot of other people are trying to achieve. You want to be able to stand out, extend the limitations of what a med school application is, right?
Yeah, and you make a community too. And I think it's very different from business, because when I talk to my sister or my brother-in-law who are in business, they're like, why would you help other people study who are taking for a test that you're competing with? And I think in business it's very different, because it's more direct. If I sell this product, another person
Won't be able to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in medicine, there's really this collective idea of we need to work together to advance our goals.
Advance the industry.
Education oriented, and one mind is not going to be as good as two minds of it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, I definitely agree with that, because since I work in business now, it's very much different. It's very cutthroat to the point where it's oh, I need to be able to I need to do my best to actually work hard and really kind of get what I need and get what I want. Whereas it's not patient. For us, it's it's more I guess self-centered to the point, But with medicine,
don't lick the mic.
Psychology, honestly, it's for me. Psychology, it's actually a blend of both. It's either you're cutthroat, and honestly, there's a lot of what I call, and I want to talk about this on a podcast soon. What I like to call a psych bitch.
Oh my God.
I love psych
That's-
bitches.
You love psych
I
bitch,
don't love them, but I love
The concept of it?
the concept of them. This is another 45-minute conversation, so I'm putting this down for somewhere in April.
I feel they could really open up to collaboration in psychology, where they can work with different. I know some people specialize in EMDR or trauma or sex therapy,
Mhm.
whatever it may be. So there's definitely that opportunity to work together to
Well,
transfer
that's
patients.
why I want to go to med school because I think there's a big
There's a
gap
bigger
between like mental health and then like physical health, right?
there's like the like psychology and kind of medicine.
right.
There's more
Psychiatry.
collaboration. There's the idea of being more patient-centered in medicine for some reason. In psychology, people on the surface say that they want to help people, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't know.
You really need to help yourself.
You're
to
willing.
help others.
You all at the end of the day, you need to help yourself. That's the thing. Like, agreed. Like,
Well, like
to the
I
point.
get it that it's like I always put it, and this is the best way to like describe it. You are a glass of water, and you're pouring your water to other people, and like if you don't put water to yourself, you're gonna be empty for everyone else. So like you need to be
That's a good
always
analogy.
constantly working on yourself and like
Yeah,
filling
you
your
can't pour
water
from an
cup
empty
in order
glass.
to help others. Because not
Like you're saying, you can't pour from an empty glass.
right.
Yeah.
So that, and then that's the med school part. Like,
It's the med
try
school
to
part.
bridge the gap between like the physical, mental health, and like everything.
I mean, I think it seems a lot more possible in psych too, because in medicine there's like that kind of detachment of where you're. I don't want to say it's robotic, but like you see certain numbers, you see certain symptoms, you're gonna treat it a certain way. And in psych, you really have to like delve into
Have a connection.
like
Why? How did this happen? How did your parents have this
yeah,
thing?
you
How
gotta
does
really
it affect
put in
you?
your emotions
Connection.
and your own experiences, and there's a lot of transference from what I can infer from what Ruby tells me.
A lot more empathy.
You know, there's a
Yeah.
Well, like in the emergency room where I work, you know, like, yeah, people get hurt. Yeah, there's terrible things that go on, but like you kind of just like go on to the next patient and you just do what you can, and you know that you don't have to like.
Worry about it later.
Yeah, exactly. There's that. You go home and that's
To
it.
get healthy, well, like the other clients just get stable.
And there's a certain sense of like being jaded and just kind of like that grows on you, and eventually it doesn't affect you as much as it used to. But yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your insight. I mean, it's always good to get other input and other like insight and thoughts from people that are in a helping profession like we are, whether it be business world, medicine, psychology, and kind of knowing that there's some sort of collective goal at the end as well, which is super cool.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you for
on.
coming,
Thanks for
dude.
inviting me
I really
too.
appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Anak, for coming back.
Because I did ask you last week if you were down. He's like, oh my god, it'd be so cool. And I was like, oh, he's actually wants to. Like, I don't want to ask just because you're my friend. You're going to, yeah, I want you to genuinely be here.
Plus, we were
Excited.
drunk. I'm
We
just
can
kidding.
do a lot more topics too.
Oh, dude, anytime, you're
It's
more
really
than
fun.
welcome. Anytime.
All
Like,
right.
we'll leave Anna outside so you could talk more.
It had to happen.
Cut.
It hadn't happened the
Yeah.
entire day.
All right,
But yeah.
who wants to lose and who knows?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to play Uno.
We're playing
And
We're gonna go ahead and play Uno. I'm gonna fry up some more lumpia,
Yes,
but we'll
yes.
see you all very soon. Thanks so much for joining us.
love you guys. Till next time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.